Sarah Goodwin Thiel. I work for the libraries, and I also serve as an associate with the Center for Service Learning. And in that capacity, I'm working with staff from the center to create this engaged KU story map that you see here. It was created with the ArcGIS story mapping software, and it is a rotating group of selected stories that exemplify KU's community engaged activities that are going on throughout the region. One goal for the story map is to promote and to track the community engaged projects of the university. It can be shared with potential students, members, community partners, and policymakers. KU Story Map will allow us to tell a more intimate story of engagement, one that will encourage viewers to dig deeper and learn more about these research efforts. To, in one way, be able to pique the interest of our viewers with a story map, such as the one I'll show you. For those of you who just saw the keynote, Andrew Hoffman, in his book, The Engaged Scholar, he speaks to the importance of telling stories, and he mentioned that just this morning in his keynote. He tells us that people remember stories. Storytelling can increase comprehension, interest, and engagement. And in short, Hoffman says, stories stick. And with that in mind, we've been developing the Engaged KU Story Map. As I said, it's a work in progress at this point, but I want to give you a preview of it now. And so that particularly those of you from schools and departments on campus who are interested in telling your own stories of community engaged research or adding them to the Engaged KU Story Map, this is what we're doing. And we've been gathering information from some projects, which I can show you now. So I'm just going to scroll through this. Again, just beginning with introductory information. I don't want to, you can look at this yourself, but we provide introductory information and then go directly into highlights of different community engaged projects on campus. The nice thing about digital storytelling is that you're able to not only tell the story, an immediate story, but you're also able to link out to other stories that related stories that people have told. So when we gather these stories, we've got a bit of a small template where we're looking for just descriptive information of the project, images, community partners, donors, etc. And so that's what these selected stories will show you. You can just, obviously you can't read them all the way through, but this is the Emmett Till Memory Project, Department of Psychology, Improving Sleep Project for firefighters, Studio 804 of the Architecture School, and their work with the Lawrence Community Shelter, KU Audio Reader and their celebration of 50 years. The Community Engaged Project Map, this is something that we're continuing, we're just getting started, so we don't the real data here. What we'll be taking information from a spreadsheet listing all the different community engaged projects on campus, hopefully as many as we can compile. And that data will be imported into this map where we can have what will end up as being kind of almost a heat map where you can see where the places are in the state of Kansas and around Kansas that where KU is doing community engaged research. So we're looking forward to getting that going. Again, as a work in progress. We don't have that to share with you right now. But that's the story map. And I'll just say briefly, if I've still got another minute, I'm not sure. This is the list. This is the template that we're using, and we're hoping that people will, we need this information to highlight a story, and we want to share this with others so that they can start highlighting their own stories and maybe send those to us. Links to longer stories, additional information, quality photos with credit information, because we need to credit all these things we're using. Who the primary KU unit is, who the partner units are, key faculty, students, and staff working on the project, partners, funding sources, and project location and GIS data so that we can map these projects once we get our maps more fully developed. But the other thing that I also wanted to show is information that we are considering sharing, and we'll do this more as we get more deeply into the project. But as we tell those stories of research, what experiences, interests, or knowledge laid the groundwork for the project? Was there an initial event that we can talk about in these digital stories? Do the faculty members or anyone involved in the project have personal motivations or passions that they want to share? Because these are stories people are interested in hearing, and ongoing interest in the project. What goals, what do people see going forth? So giving a real personal, intimate look at a research project is very possible. And we're hoping to use this Engaged KU story map to do just that. So if you have an interest in learning more about Engaged KU, let me know, or anyone from the Center for Service Learning, and we can help you learn more about it. So thank you.
So I'm assuming these stories being captured will be across campuses and institutions, i.e. the Med Center, correct? I love the idea of a story map to see all the areas.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're hoping to, that's, part of the goal is to represent the wide-ranging disciplines and schools that are represented through these, through community engaged research. And we want to show that wide range. So yeah, we're looking for stories from all over.
Are you collaborating with non-KU entities as well?
Well, mostly I think how that works is with non-KU entities who are working with KU entities. I think we don't have at this point any just community entities that don't have a connection with KU in any kind of way. We're trying to make the connection between the two, those partnerships, when there are partnerships.
Another question is there a link or jot form to submit stories and engagement?
Not yet. You can send them directly to me or to the Center for Service Learning.
I would say, as someone who's had some involvement in this project, to the person who asked the question, that may be a place where we get eventually, where we do have an outreach, a more formal outreach, an invitation to submit stories, and then a mechanism to collect those stories. Right now, the site is still in early development. And so I think we're trying to perfect the design and the interface before we sort of invite. So these are sort of template projects that we're highlighting at the moment.